the unfolding in light is it's a second nature that I don't have to label it. I just feel like it just does move. I still feel very carried, and the walls that break down, the edge, the crumbling is, I guess, a way to mm, let the light out completely out. I feel like my essence, the light of my essence in the outside world attracts when when I am in my being, when I'm in my presence. I guess it's brought me more genuine things, more realizations of um but it's I feel like I'm in the space of things falling away in order to bring more in. Mine's been an emotional letting go. Can't tell you it's late love because it definitely isn't. It hasn't been consistently. I had things that I had to come back to and move it out for good. Behind that was depth, because now it feels like there's this depth that's a pure opening of space where light can come into that now and kind of move through in that way. The first one, I felt like it was the start of a way of life, and as a human, in moving into the divine human. And it was about really kind of, it really shook things up for me in that one. And this one, it was, for me, it felt more of a, not always easy, but it wasn't as um, agitating. I felt the first one just kind of agitated all of the all of the um, stuff that wasn't mine. I think it kind of just shook it up like a snow globe, kind of shook it up, and then now it's kind of, from the second one, it's kind of moving it out. But it does, when I allow myself to feel and not try to figure it out with my mind, but bring it back down into my heart, it leaves this open space that I can see is clear, and the light's moving in that into those spaces and pockets, and coming up through that. Um, but I do think the second one is worth it, because coming into divine, uh, is that the right word? Divine human, divine, to my own divinity. Um, it's a lot faster with this second one. It's different. It's smoother to me. It feels, I mean, like all the activations, all the extra uh, bringing it, bringing it, grounding it, with all the other activations has been. Um, it's like I don't. I really. It's like you're not. It's like I'm a different human living in this world. I'm a different person, and I don't think it would have been this fast if I wouldn't have done it. Um, yeah, I think it's totally worth it. I think the biggest thing that I think throws people is how the life that you had shakes. It totally shakes it up. Um, and for me, I was ready for that. I was ready for it to shake and break things loose and people loose that didn't really, that I was attached to. And now it feels like a detachment of all of that. I, in my heart, I can guide. When I'm in stillness, I can see where I need to go, what's next, without reacting quickly, without coming from a blame or any of that. because I no longer want to be, I haven't wanted to be a victim ever, but I just like now it's just like so natural not to blame. You come from a place of pure acceptance with what is, and you can't. I don't think I could have been where I am now without it. It would have. I think it would have taken me a lot longer. It feels like the light is constantly building, pushing everything that I no longer need to be need to um, relate to or own, and it's just pushing it out. And that's what I'm talking about with the light filling all the spaces that are now. Um, Empty is not the right word. It's more clear. It's more pure. It's more from the uh, soul level, natural state. That's what it feels like it's coming out, and I can sense that in my body. I and I mean, it does feel like the tree that comes up and it's going out like this, but it's solid here. It's solid, and um, it totally feels like it was a seed that started in Venus Light 1, and now in Venus Light 2, it's just expanding that light, that and coming into a state of, I would say, calm and bliss, and knowing that it's always there, even when things on the outside are not so pleasant. It's always there. So yeah, I think I really do believe that it did exactly what, and I think and I think the group, we all grew with that. We thought it was going to be one thing, and it kind of expanded into this bigger um, bigger way of being, uh, internal manifestation, and building the light from within. I think it did exactly what I feel like it did exactly what it said. What was promised, and what was we all we it was funny because we all moved um, in the same direction of building that, but and we were all going through similar situations along the way, but of course, because we have our own unique situations, but it all aligned. It all came together in that way, like it was meant to be, that the three of us, and along with you, um, we're in this group, and who knows what it's going to be for the next group, because I find that fascinating that it was always in line. Nothing was ever varied far at all. But it was, for me, it was more about the internal, um, it's like the unseen manifestation of you coming back to your light, and um, moving in the world from that, not from the outside in. And I really believe that the inside, for me, I believe that the inside needs to be the one that what moves in order to attract from the outside. If I would have brought stuff in from the outside, which I did, I mean, there was things happened, but it was never it was meh, because I was meh. You know what I mean? Like, as I was moving through this, there was not always times when it was, yeah, pure light, but it was just a learning. It was like a learning of how to um, discern from truth, from pure, I don't know, an authentic way to bring in what you want, not based on anything but authenticity and sovereignty, and moving in my truth. Speaking my truth helps bring all this out, like all this stuff that was stuck because I wasn't speaking my truth for so long. I was just, is a huge manifestation outward. So yeah, there's that. There's so yes, I guess that because it's so funny. Um, when I do that, I notice the whole situation changes. The whole vibration is different. It's like a frequency shift from truth, and it settles in me. It settles outside. It may not always outside may not like it, but it is what it is, and then that shifts the people that hear the truth. If that comes out right, um, so right, it's not. It's a manifestation outward. Yeah, that shifts your internals also, the internal, external, within, without. I mean, I think the discernment of what you want and what you don't want. I mean, for me that was huge in this one. And it was like that. Um, it was like a light switch went off. Like, okay, I don't want that. I don't want that. This is what I want. And I remember that. I, um, I remember that shift happening when, and it was just, like one day it was just like, yeah, I don't want to do that, and I'm not going there, and I don't care who feels or says what, but that was a big shift for me, knowing, discerning, refining what um, what um, yeah, what I wanted, where I wanted to go. I do feel like this course, this Venus Light 2, if I did not do it, I would not, it would take me a lot longer without those activations, without those codes, without the interaction with everybody else in the group. Um, and expressing it is huge. It's huge, you're right. That is a very, very important part of expressing what's coming out. Short answer, yes. I feel like I am mastering my light. I feel like I am, um, because it is, for me, it's it's a remembering. Actually, I don't, it's not really new, but it's like okay, so here it is, and now it's yeah. I mean, short answer, yes. I feel like I don't think it's ever really done, but I do think I'm to the point where it's I can sense it happening. I can master it every day, every moment. I do feel like that is because it's, being sovereign. That's kind of what that means to me. Yeah, I guess that's what it is it's a mastery of my own light, and connection with feeling the connection with everything. Hmm. All that is. I just, it's really hard to talk about that stuff. It feels like, yes, it feels like I can, the light's here. I can feel it building and going out. And I am noticing, when I do, it's allowed me to tap into my soul's possibilities, capabilities, and I'm seeing that manifest out now more clearly. I'm noticing it, that it's me doing that, that it's that I am shifting that. Um, so that's another thing that's been an interesting, and that's coming up. That's been coming up more and more. Is that, and as you say, mastering your light. So I guess that is exactly what it is. Is it's mastering my light. In order to do that, I still need to play with it more because I think it's fascinating. But yeah, I guess I do know that when I'm in peace, it's easier for me to see that. It's easier for me to play with. And that feels like where I am now. Like I'm getting to that point of just being with myself and watching, playing and connecting, and the consciousness that comes with that. It's definitely a different life. It's like a frequency. You are. I'll speak for myself. It's a frequency I'm turning into that I can, when I read something that somebody is selling or somebody's talking about, or it's just an instant knowing internally that it isn't, there's something missing. It's not coming from a space of authenticity. It's coming from a space of bottom line. Um, it's bottom line, uh, but there's no like, but the process is totally, it's short. With this course, we've been in this for, I don't know, 6 months now, 5 months, 6 months, and we meet every week. I mean, we meet every week, we adjust what's ever going on. It meets, you know what I mean? So this program delivers such a depth that I haven't found. You can get information anywhere, but this is like a depth. This is it is like it's like a contract that's fulfilled, because it does, it's, y- there's connection throughout the whole time you're going through this. And after the activations are done, then there's months of communicating and, working with Sabrina and working in the group, that, the four of us expressing what's going on, and then there's activations on top of that to help bring it in. So yeah, I mean, this program is in depth. It's doing what it's claim, and it also evolved as it needed to evolve, because as you know, it is ever changing. This program changed throughout, and I'm sure the next level, the next people that are in this, it'll evolve with them also. So yeah, I haven't found one that's been this in depth, and it's always a very short amount of time, and then you're left on your own. And this is never, there's always, Sabrina's always there. She's always there. Um, you can, I mean, it's like that although it is yours, if you get to a point where you really can't move it, then Sabrina's there. And that's been, will say that is the most important piece for me, because it was a small group. It was completely intimate with everything we shared between us. Um, and it allowed for everything and anything to come up in the group. So yeah, it's, if it was a bigger group, I don't think the benefits would have been there. I mean, for me, in my experience, I mean, maybe with this, it could have been, it allowed for each of us to be in our own way. And I believe we all grew. I, we see each other weekly, and I can see the difference in how we all speak, we all actually look, and we all communicate. Yeah, that aspect has been the biggest, kindest part of this, is that Sabrina was always there. The other women in the group that were always there. They were always there. Where I could, if we ever wanted to, if we were just going through something, or we could just plop it in there, and there'd be support. You could write it in the group, and there would be support for it. No judgment, just allowing, knowing, and sending that out. Um, yeah, that's a good point. That it's other groups. I mean, they always have their benefits, and it's always good to meet people. But this group, this particular training over the last year now, the two, Venus Light 1 and Venus Light 2, it settles very well. It settles very, very well into my soul. Where other things it agitates. I can tell it's not the right space for me. This was the right space for me. This program was so profound for me that if I come from a point of expectation, I do think this program is a profound experience. It has been profound, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what's next. Not 10 years down the road, but like today, like what's going to happen today. It's always a possibility now. Um, but it is a profound experience, and one that I would recommend to anybody that is ready to move in the world, from sovereignty, from light, from grace. I'm in the low vibration, the low interactions when I need to be. I don't enjoy it, but I do it, and it's coming now from a truth. Uh, but I also have this place that wants to let people be who they are, that wants to see the good in everybody. But if it doesn't work for me, it doesn't mean I need to get down and dirty. And that's how I work, and that's how I've always been. But now it's coming. It feels more succinct. Feels more comes. I just do it. I don't have to linger in it. I move forward because I do feel like that. And it's like you don't even think twice. You just deal with it as it comes, or you learn to deal with it as it comes. I do feel like this is just like it is like a light that attracts. It's funny because it is just something that when it's out there, it just attracts the right people. I don't, and because you, um, you speak to people before they get in. They don't just get in. You have to, right? I mean, it's like you accept people into this program, and I think that's what makes it so different, also, right? It's not like you are very it is very clear to you who would benefit from this program, because so many groups are just about give me money and I'll give you a month of audios to pay or videos to watch, and that's it, and you're done, and that's it. That transaction is just a transaction. This was actually, you're invested in this, you're invested in the people in this group. This course is like uh and it is a commitment to yourself. It's not like, oh, I don't have to do it now. If I don't do it, it's not benefiting me. Do you know what I mean? Like with other things, it's like a month of audios and videos, and um, if you don't do it, nobody's it's nobody's no big deal. But I feel like if I would have stopped halfway through, I would have been less for it. I would have been, I don't know. I just feel like with the what you bring into this, it's just like it's a light that attracts all the right vibrations and frequencies and the souls into this group. I mean, in Venus Light One, I felt exactly the same way. It was exactly the right mix of people. And it was a small group, and it was super helpful and beneficial. And this allowed me to go deeper into that. It allowed me to go deeper into the work, to the paintings and the what that does. The coding comes out into the paint. I mean, it allowed for all of that. It's just a living thing. It shifts, everything changed, but it was all grounded in the light building and mastering that as it coming up. And I do feel like the mastery, I can feel that. Um, and for me, and I'll speak only for me, when I'm told to do something, I'm like, okay, maybe I'll do it, maybe I won't. But it's like create something, and for me, creation doesn't happen like that. It's an ebb and flow, and it comes from a deep space, and um, so when I'm told to do something, there's a resistance there altogether, because I flow more than you know, than I can get from, go. I don't have to-do lists. I don't have any of that. I just, okay, what do I want to do today? What color do I want? It's more like that. So I think that's one of the things, but it is truly a living program, and that's so accurate. That's really well put. That evolves with all of us.